Live. What is up, dude? How you been?
I have been doing well. I have been getting excited because all over the Twitter nation, people are posting the good word and the good news about the all holy AT&T finally deploying 5G plus. But yeah, no,
It's
I'm good.
Dennis. I've been tagging you, man, making sure you're in the know, in the loop.
Yeah, apparently Pittsburgh is covered. I need to drive Pittsburgh and see all the little spots that's been cropping up in.
See, that's the thing, man. People, they get excited about things and they might sort of exaggerate. This means that they're finding it, right? So that's good. You're gonna find it in more places. You're gonna find it, as you drive around and you visit your friends and you do your thing. But when people start to, see it and stuff, sometimes they'll exaggerate, and it's not as readily available as one would think. But yeah, it's a good indication that they're upgrading, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was here, and I knew there were sites, but a lot of them weren't turned on, with the exception of that one when I had a little bit of a stroke while driving down by like the
Ah,
movie theater at Monaca. But
nice.
but I mean, I'm gonna just call it for what it is, man. I mean, I know this is crazy for me to say, but AT&T is just so freaking capacitive over here that I'm not really sweating the 5G plus too hard. I mean, I'm literally getting like 250 by like 100 at my house. Like that's off DSS, right?
It might make your experience noticeably better once it goes like SA 5G. The latency will dip, uplinks will continue to improve, that sort of thing. So like, maybe right now one could argue, as I think you've made a pretty good point, the capacity is already there. So it's not like your experience is going to change all that much. But if the latency were to dip and the uplink was to improve, then I think you have something there, right?
Yeah, but like I've tested the 5G plus, and my experience was the download was better when it was good.
Hmm.
Typically somewhere around the 400 range is where it likes to chill. Although I've seen higher peaks up to 600-700. But then the uplink is actually where it usually suffers. It's usually chilling or hovering around that 35 to 50 range, which is actually worse performant than the uplink when I'm just connecting to normal DSSS, 5G, or LTE, or 5GE
Gotcha.
as they like to phrase it.
Gotcha. Let's say some hellos to everybody now that we're a couple minutes in. Baby Yoda, Mike West, Gellert, hashtag Mod Squad. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Goddess Hylia is here. The homie Zero Cool is in the house. Ram, and I think there was one before I actually started the stream. I think it was Ryan. So welcome to the show. And then now for all the ones I get to from this point on, that means your chat is showing on the restream. All right. So we got Wesley, Jason D, and Kimon. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Thanks for stopping by. Jonathan, the guitarist, is here. The homie Big Lou. It's been a while, man. Everything is fantastic. Hope this finds you well. We have MG Nate in the house. Joshua's here. Steven's in the house. And we got Jaime, Omar, and No One Man is also here. All right, so welcome to the show. And I think what I'll do is I'll kind of start things off by introducing the the new Verizon plan. Like what's up and coming here. It's you can't go to the website and see it just yet, but I was able to get a shot of kind of like how it's going to look. And let me go ahead and share that with you guys. Just give me 1 second to prep this and do the screen share. And actually, you know what you guys can do while we're waiting is you guys can go ahead and vote in tonight's poll. It's been posted. It's there in the live chat. So if you just click in there, you will see a question, and it's a simple yes or no question. Dennis, did you see the poll yet?
I have none. I just realized I was muted. I'm sorry, but I have
Okay,
not.
no problem. Go ahead and check it out, Dennis. See if you can go ahead and read it out for the fine folks, and then they could cast their vote.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Is the new Verizon Unlimited Plan a winner? Yes or no?
All right, so there it is. And I went ahead and posted it. This is the only image I have right now. So, Dennis, why don't you just go over those just very generic details there from what you can see?
Let's see. It looks like it's coming in at $30 a month per line when you have, I'm assuming, 4 lines. Um, Looks like you got unlimited 5G nationwide, so the low band. Um, get the You get Disney Plus, Apple Arcade or Google Play Pass, and Apple Music for 6 months on us. And I know it's not listed on there, but I'm going to imagine it's the new start plan and it comes with 5 gigs of hotspot, I'm guessing too.
It gets worse, Dennis. I'm not even joking, dude. This may be the highlights of this plan. That all that you've seen here. Things get real skimpy, dog. I don't want to beat around the bush and tell you guys this is some incredible value. It's a low priced plan, but I can't really say much else about it.
Its price point, if it's for 4 lines, is pretty clear that it's trying to compete with big cable, because that's what big
Yes.
cable is coming in at. And
Yes. We're gonna talk about this later, Dennis. Who it's for, who it's targeting. Yes, good sir. Very astute observation. We got our first super chat of the eve. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. The hippo character repeatedly pointing the streamer while chanting. What is this chanting? Get good?
it's the gamer.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate it, Mark.
Yeah,
Now
the
I see the
gamer,
super
the
sticker.
gamer spelling for get good.
Got it. I see it now. Yeah, I see it.
Well, I'm just gonna come in with a spicy take, as I'm known for, and just call it for what it is.
Should we do the details before we do the spicy take?
I don't even need details to already know what my take is. This plan is one word and one word only.
Cheap?
Trash.
Trash.
Trash. I'm gonna just say this, man. Verizon needs to stop pussyfooting. If they're gonna try to come in with a value plan, come in with a value plan. If not, you're better off not even offering it at all, because it ruins the reputation that Verizon tries to go for in the mind of consumers, being like this premium brand with a premium experience. And selling something like this, it it just leads to a poor experience on the network, because we know Verizon's very aggressive with their network management. Like, I'm sorry, but like Verizon Start, or whatever this is about to be called too, are just terrible plans. And if that's your interaction with the Verizon network, then of course you're going to think it's terrible, because all the things that make Verizon's network really, really good right now are coming from its 5G C-band deployment. That's where all the capacity is. That's where you're getting the premium experience of like 4K streaming, and you're getting the value add-ons like the Hulu and the other things they're included in Get More. Something like that, not great. And I feel like if you're trying to save money and actually have a good experience on the Verizon network, you should just go with US Mobile.
All right, so Dennis isn't wrong in his evaluation. From a consumer standpoint, he brings up pretty much every important piece of what you get in value. Something that's important to note here at the top in this black bar, I don't know if you guys can see it. It says this plan will be applied to all phone lines on your account. This is not eligible for mix and match. So you couldn't say, well, I'll just put a couple of these lines, one for mom, one for dad. I'll take the get more. My brother, I'll give do more, and then play more for my sis. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't mix it all up. All lines on the account would have to be this. All right, and I'm going to explain why or what type of tailored customer need it's fitting, because this isn't for everybody. It really isn't. I know the price point is trying to scream budget and entry and good deal, but there's so many things to consider in this, and people are going to start screaming visible and prepaid and all these things, and they're right. They're very right. But there's a couple things I do want to mention. So let me get to that. Tech with Obed, appreciate the super chat, sir, and all the support, of you always being a supporter of the show. No C-band or millimeter wave, from what I'm being told. That is true. We reported it earlier on the video from this morning. Let me give you guys all the deets on it. We have what's being called the Welcome Unlimited Plan. Best price ever. All right, you'll see that it kind of like will have this sort of advertisement of save money without sacrificing quality. That's what they're saying. It says here that the mission is going to be, this is intended for customers that just want to get the most basic unlimited plan. And it's for the budget sensitive, the BYOD folks. You're not going to be able to do like phone upgrades or promotions on this. 5+ lines, you're coming in at $25 per line. 4 lines, $30 per line. You will be paying taxes and fees, so that'll be added at the time of the transaction. They are doing a switcher promo where they will give you a $240 Visa gift card per line for switching in. So I guess they'll do up to 4 lines. It'll add up to $960 in value. An account can have up to 12 lines, and there is a $10 auto pay and paperless discount. It does not include any hotspot and tethering data. Does not include any elements of ultra wideband access. That's no C-band, no millimeter wave, and when CBRS goes to N48, no CBRS either. All right, if CBRS stays on LTE, any sort of spectrum, then I guess you'll have that. Current customers that move down from other plans will have a complete account change. So if you're coming down from like Get More, Do More, Play More, or Start Unlimited, it's going to completely change your account. You're going to lose all your perks, all your features, any loyalty promotions or discounts. No Disney bundle included. Single line is $65, Dennis. If you get 2 lines, it's $55 a piece. 3 lines at $40 a piece, and the 4 lines at $30 a piece, and then the 5+ lines at $25 a piece. So a 5-line deal would be $125 plus tax and fees. You get $5 per month discount on a FiOS bundle, or if you do the 5G or LTE home. Let me see what else we got here. 480p video. You are eligible for the Verizon cloud storage. The international rates are all the same compared to the other plans like Travel Pass and all that other stuff. Mexico, Canada. You are getting access to the 5G DSS, the 5G nationwide 4G LTE network. Watches and other connected devices are eligible. Mexico, Canada. Call filtering, spam blocker, the free version. This is a BYOD special, Dennis, because it doesn't have the promotions for the phones. It really feels and sounds like T-Mobile Essentials answer and Big Cable's answer. I mean, I literally wrote that in my show notes to show you how like me and you are on the same page on this. No perks, no value added. It's stripped down. It's bare bones. It's full-time network deprio. There's no premium data. And I think what we should do, Dennis, with the show, with the opportunity tonight, is to compare it to the lower entry-level options of AT&T and T-Mobile and see how it stacks up.
Sure. I will just say though, you said it's the answer to cable, and I'm saying that's the reason it exists. But as
Yeah.
someone else already pointed out, man, the cable option is literally better in every single way.
I'd say start with like the QCI, right?
I mean, you're getting priority data on the cable option. You're getting access to all the 5G flavors on the cable option. And not only are you getting access to all the 5G options, but it doesn't even account against your 20 gigabyte high speed cap. You get 5 gigs of hotspot on LT high speed, and if it's ultra wideband, uncapped. On cable, you get access to extra capacity that's not even on the Verizon's network, since the cable companies do have some of their own CBRS licenses, as well as the really well fleshed out Wi-Fi hotspot network. It's meaningfully more affordable because the cable option isn't charging the BS inflation fee that Verizon made up. It's just strictly the taxes of whatever your state is. That's it. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what Verizon's thinking. This just feels like slapping. This feels like they took a Visible plan and basically slapped the Verizon logo on it, just so that someone could say they have Verizon.
Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. We got a super chat here from Ram. Thanks for all you do, Sneed and Dennis. Oh, we appreciate you, and thanks for the support. Thank you very much. There was another one. This one caught my eyes. Pretty funny here. This one is from Anthony. This Verizon CEO needs to go. Sneed, is your bakery hiring? I don't know if I want anybody at the Verizon plan construction team. I don't want them working at the bakery. They'd ruin the pricing in the bakery. We'd lose all types of customers. And they'd be very disgruntled paying $20 for a bag of pita. You know what I mean? No, taxes and fees are not included. You're gonna have to pay those extra. So like,
don't forget the extra fees that Verizon made up.
oh yeah, and the economic adjustment fee. All those are gonna be there for sure. Let's go ahead and bring in some stuff. Let's start comparing this to some other plans. I don't know. I guess we'll say they're similar in pricing, but they are seriously not even comparable in terms of value. Let's start first with the GOAT network of PA. Let's start first with AT&T. And I'm going to show you guys where I think the pricing stacks up relative to what AT&T has to offer, you guys can go to the AT&T.com website, go to wireless, and then go to plans and prices. And this is where it'll take you. You have a couple different things you could do. Here's the unlimited plans, which they have 3 on this particular listing. And then if you go to other plans, they've got a couple other options for you guys. But this is where you start here. So the premium plan, which is essentially the AT&T Elite, right? It's the new version of the Elite. And then you have the Extra, which is like their mid-tier. And then there is the starter plan, which I think is kind of sort of where this is. All right, so one-line pricing. Remember, the Verizon plan is, I believe, starting at $65. All right, that matches AT&T's start plan. But Dennis, look what you get with the starter plan. You get 5G access, including C-band and millimeter wave, right? AT&T gives full access to everything.
Yep.
All right, it is similar in that it's full DPRIO and always network managed, so that's the same.
One caveat I want to add to that, though, there's a
Mhm.
severe difference in how AT&T does network management and how Verizon does network management when it comes to DPRIO.
Well, that's going to vary by location. I've used Visible here as a full-time driver, and I never got DPRIO'd.
What I'm saying is there's the percentage of what is considered a full speed, like what AT&T gives you as a percentage versus what Verizon gives you. I believe it's something like Verizon gives you 20%, AT&T gives you 40% of whatever is considered full speed.
Oh, in terms of the way the QCI is set up?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, good point. 3 gigs of hotspot data per line per month. That's pretty nice. It
Yep.
says mobile hotspot speed slowed to a maximum of 128 kbps after the 3 gigs.
Yeah, not usable after that, but still.
Yeah.
More important, though, unlimited talk, text, and data between Mexico and Canada.
Yep, you're going to get a little bit of international usage. Let's see here. Unlimited
Texting.
texting from US to 200 plus countries, 480p video. That's pretty much the starter plan.
Yeah.
All right, pricing wise, like if we look at this, right? So Verizon goes 65 for a single line, 110 for 2 lines, 120 for 3 lines, and then 125 for 5 lines. All right, let's see how this AT&T plays out. All right, so 2 lines is 120. 3 lines is 135. 4 lines is 140. And then 5 lines is 150. So Verizon actually comes in a little bit cheaper on the 5-line rate and the 4-line rate. But I mean, you're losing a lot, man. Like that AT&T, you're getting a little bit of hotspot. You're getting a little bit better, like kind of like international access with like Mexico, Canada.
You can actually finance a device on it. You can mix and match.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good point, man. Yeah, and that's why I was describing the Verizon plan, this Welcome Unlimited, as being very, very stripped down. The value on the starter unlimited plan is much higher.
I was going to say the closest thing to the Verizon plan would actually be if you go to the other plan section, the AT&T sells one plan lower. Here it is, AT&T Value Plan.
Yeah, but then if the structure is jacked up, so watch how hard it is to do these as a comparison. Watch this. So this is $50, right?
Yep.
The Verizon one is 65 at single line.
Yep.
That's the only comparison we make because you can't get 2 lines.
Right.
You can't get 3, 4, or 5 lines. So you actually you can't do a multi-line account.
Right.
So at this point, if you're going multi-line, you're essentially going to start.
But I'm saying if we're doing like an actual plan itself, this would be the most closest thing from AT&T.
And this is better on a couple of fronts. It's better in price. You still get the Mexico and Canada. You still get the 5G access.
Yep.
Right? It's full-time DPRIO, just like the Verizon one, but like the price, it's $15 less. And one could argue that you could probably find an AT&T prepaid option on a promo that's going to beat this too in terms of value.
Yep.
It's really hard to align this perfectly with the new Verizon plan because this one's cheaper. So actually, I would recommend somebody to go this way if it's really about price. I don't see a version of explanation that says that the Verizon plan is better than this one.
What
If
I'm
anything, this one is slightly better.
what I'm trying to emphasize is that again, there's one word to describe Verizon's new plan, and it's trash. And for anyone that's a naysayer saying this is for someone that doesn't use a lot of data or whatever, I'm trying to emphasize here that it's a garbage plan. This is not something that we should be buying with our fun bucks, and we should not be encouraging companies like Verizon to release garbage like that. Like I can't think of anything else to describe it. There's no use case where it makes sense because single line users, it's more expensive than what AT&T is offering and T-Mobile, respectively. It doesn't have any features. It misses the whole point of being a postpaid option. Like everything about it's bad. And I'm glad you have T-Mobile up because here's the funny thing that I don't know if you knew, Sneed. T-Mobile's base essentials plan, the one that's like got only like 20 gigs of priority or whatever, it's actually not 20 gigs. It's uncapped based off Stetson's testing. They're not like throttling it after the 20 gigs of usage.
All right, let's check out the terms and the I guess the things that come with the essentials plan, which I think what this plan was actually made for Verizon. They were lining it up against the two plans that were probably killing them, and that was essentials and big cable. All right, so with the essentials, is the single line still $60?
I believe so, but I would compare it to base essentials.
Which is how much?
45, I believe.
Okay, I can only click on essentials. What is base essentials?
Compared to other option. If you there you go. And then scroll down.
I don't see base essentials. I just see essentials.
Uh
I don't know what base
Are
essentials mean. I've never heard that before.
you serious? We covered it. It's the one where it's like it's literally like a crappier copied version of what cable's doing. Here, I'll link it to you here in the private chat so you can pull it
All right.
up.
Well, let's look at the essentials deal. They've got 3 lines advertised here. I can't select how many lines actually. It's just got 3 lines. So the way that T-Mobile structures it, it's buy 2 get 1 free. You know, the free line company, you know how they do. So 2 lines would be at a $45 per line rate. They give you the third line free, and then you'll be paying taxes and fee on this. And this pricing, the $90 for the 3 lines is only with auto pay. So that's important to note. But let's see what they give here. Premium data, it says 50 gigs. Mobile hotspot, it says unlimited 3G hotspot. All right, so that's better than the Verizon option because not only do you get some form of premium data,
That's
but you
actually not premium data. That's actually like false advertising. It's not premium data. The way it works is it's 50 gigs of deprioritized data, and then after 50 gigs, it's like super deprioritized data. It's not actually
okay.
priority included in essentials.
Okay, so
Sorry.
here's what it says. We'll get the technical terms here. Uh, wait, this essentials customers may notice speed slower than other customers and further reduction if using greater than 50 gigs due to data deprial. Uh, this is stupid. They're so stupid. Why even
It's
bother?
false advertising, and it
Yeah.
means Stetson have called it out multiple times to never see it fixed. But
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Well, 3G hotspots included. So what are you getting, like 500, 600 kbps?
yeah, 600 kilobit.
Okay. Uh, I don't know why they call it premium data. They should reword that. Let's see here. 5G access. So you get the full like 5G UC, regular 5G, millimeter wave, everything they have. Tax and fees you'll have to pay. No Netflix, no Microsoft 360. It includes Paramount Plus for 1 year on us. Wow. No Apple TV. Video streaming's at 480p. No in-flight go whatever. Simple Global is included. I don't know, 25 cents a minute in 210 countries. Simple Global texting and data. Texting's included. Unlimited international texting from home is included. Mexico, Canada is included. It says unlimited talk, text, and 2G data. So that's 128 kbps. No AAA membership. T-Mobile travel is included. I don't see anything else here. $5 discount per line up to 6 lines with auto pay enabled. All right, Dennis. So how does this one stack up against the new Verizon, or vice versa, I should say? The pricing, the 3 lines for 90, that's going to probably with tax and fees take you over $100, at least where I live. Verizon, meanwhile, for the 3 lines, what are they doing? $40 a line, so that's 120 plus tax and fees puts it up over 130, $140. So Verizon's getting crushed on the 3-line offer. I don't know what I think where the T-Mobile Essentials shines is like with 6 lines because you get 6 lines. I mean, that's a ton of lines, right? You're getting 6 lines for like $180.
You can't get 6 lines on Essentials. It caps at 5.
Oh, it caps at 5. So you can't even get the free second line. Dang. All right. Well, that
What are you
spoils.
talking about? Free second line,
They do a free line, buy 2 get 1 free.
and that stacks repeatedly.
Yeah, you could just buy another 2 lines, right? So if you buy 2 and get 1 free, you have 3 lines. Buy 2 more, you have 5. The 6th one would be free.
Oh,
So I'm saying like the more of those you take advantage of, the better your value gets, right?
oh, and also I might have been mistaken. I guess you have to call T-Mobile if you want more than 5 lines for any plan. I'm sorry.
So you might be able to do it then,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
might be able to pull it off. All right, Dennis. So
But I
I
linked you the other one, which I think is more accurate to compare to, because T-Mobile regular Essentials wins, and I don't even like that plan, and it wins easy across the board. But I think the more accurate one to compare it to would be the base Essentials plan, which I sent you a link. You got to click on other plans. It doesn't have an offer card, but I copied and pasted the most important details for you.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. See other plans. Got it. Okay, so yeah, there is a base essentials. They just don't have it with the other plans. I'll go ahead and do a screen share so people can see it, just to kind of be thorough and a little more comprehensive here.
And what I'll say is the base Essentials plan has 20 gigs and it's supposed to be throttled to 1.5 by 600 kilobit. But
Well, we
based
can
off
compare
stats,
it. We can kind of compare it, right? Like pricing wise, 2 lines at 80, 3 lines at 100. The other one's 3 lines at 90.
that's because of the free line deal, and the base Essentials doesn't get the free line deal.
Okay, so anybody with the right mind would go the other way on
Yes,
3 lines. On 3 lines.
while there's a free line deal going, yes.
Yeah. 20 gigs high speed data. Then it goes to 1.5 meg.
Yes, but what I was saying about that is Stetson used over the 20 gigs and didn't get throttled in his testing. He used like 50 gigs.
All
And
right, cool. I'm just going off of what it says here, bro, because
yeah.
if I report it any other way, they're going to come back and say Sneed's a liar, bro.
No, I know. I'm saying I know what it says. I'm saying that Timo doesn't seem to be enforcing it, though, is what I'm trying
Oh,
to
okay. All right. Well, that's to the consumer's benefit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlimited mobile hotspot data at 3G speeds. That's unfortunate. No high speed data for hotspot. Talk, text, and data at 2G speeds. Mexico, Canada calls. It's structured pretty much the same. Tax and fees you got to pay. No Netflix on us. And then it's all technical jargon. Oh, Dennis, these plans. Do we like these plans, Dennis? Any of these plans?
No.
Just generally speaking, do we enjoy and promote these plans?
I don't know, Sneed. Do you enjoy being beat over the head? Because that's what these
No.
plans are like.
Not
It's
my shag, bro, personally.
Yeah, I don't like any of these plans. I'm gonna come in with a not so spicy take, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, Sneed.
Oh, man. Okay, so in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I said this before, and I'll just kind of reconfirm this. I think it is positioned against the base essentials or T-Mobile essentials plans in terms of pricing. I know for a fact that Verizon is losing customers to the T-Mobile essentials and the Magenta plans. Those 2 plans. I think more importantly, Verizon has lost a lot of customers to big cable. Technically, Verizon is still serving them because Xfinity Mobile and Spectrum Mobile are on the Verizon network. The problem is those customers are often low data users, which means Xfinity and Spectrum are not going to be paying Verizon a lot of money for that space and data usage on the network. They're building out an incredible spider web of small cells using CBRS spectrum and all those Wi-Fi hotspot at all those businesses and all those locations. They're going to try to make it so that their customers, Xfinity and Spectrum customers, are on Verizon as very little as possible. They want 90+% of the network traffic off the Verizon network. So if a customer uses 10 gigs a month, they want like 9 or 10 of those gigs being on Wi-Fi or hotspots or their CBRS small cells, right? And Verizon knows that. And they're seeing it and they knew it was coming. So I think this is a response to that. If you look at the pricing structure, Dennis, I think you called to this. You said it was $30 a month, right? Positioned at that price point. That is what Spectrum Mobile advertises here in Cleveland on the billboards. And that's what I think Xfinity charges as well in your market, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I that's what I'm seeing, man. It's a BYOD thing, right? They stripped everything down. And you know what's crazy, Dennis? People asked for this. And I know that might be the spicy take of the show, as you call it, spicy take. People asked for this. They just didn't get it exactly as they would have structured it. People want unlimited high-speed priority data. People want unlimited high-speed priority tethering hotspot. People don't want to be slowed down. People want 4K video streaming. They want all that for $50 a month, $40 a month, $30. That's what people want. Verizon is not in the business of giving people what they want. They give you what they want to give you, which is as little as possible because they want to upsell you every step of the way. If you look at every plan that Verizon sells, go to the very basic, the most bottom level plan, okay? It only exists to get you to the next plan up. That is the truth. That is the cold, hard facts. That this plan was created to make you hate it so that way you go to starter unlimited. And that plan is designed to make you hate it so you go up to the next one, which is what? Play more and
And
do
do
more.
more. Yeah.
And then those are designed to make you feel like you're missing something, so you go up to the get more. Every plan that is not their premium offer is designed to be missing something to make you want to go up. And people asked for a very cheap Verizon line. Here you are. But it's on Verizon's terms. You know what I mean?
So Sneed, there's a little bit of a flaw in the process though. You said it's to upsell me into what I really want, essentially.
Mhm.
And even Verizon's most premium offering doesn't give me what I want. Because what I want is essentially, no jokes aside, I basically want a Magenta MAX on Verizon. Like literally copy and paste
You can have
that
that.
plan.
You can have that.
No, I can't.
Why not?
Because Verizon's highest offering still has the 720p video cap.
Only on
Verizon's
LTE.
yeah, but let's
They're gonna
call
play they're gonna play technical. They're wrong. You're right, but they're gonna play technical. They're gonna say we offer it on ultra wideband.
right, but let's call it for what it is, man. Verizon's ultra wideband is a baby chick just getting out of its egg. It's still got a lot of room.
I agree, but what's the conversation in 3 years?
3 years, it might not matter.
That's my
But
point. They're structuring this plan to be something that's going to be perennial, right?
Verizon wants me to buy in today. And I'm saying what they're offering me today is not what I want. I don't care about 3 years from now. It's not like a dividend stock where it's going to mature in value for me. Like Verizon's taking my money, and in return, I'm just going to call it for what it is, an inferior product. Why would I spend more money for worse features when Magenta MAX is coming in as the cheapest with tax and fees included? Yeah, T-Mobile's network isn't perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's perfect, but if you live in a spot where it's good, then it's great. And if not, AT&T is offering something at least better than what Verizon's offering at the moment. The only one that's hurting here, the only one that's losing customers and crying about it is Verizon, and they're doing none of the things that they need to do in order to get
Yeah,
customers back.
yeah, this doesn't really it doesn't save their quarter, it doesn't save their next quarter. I don't know who this is gonna resonate with, Dennis. I don't know if this really does anything for their bottom line. Like, if we look back at this a year from now and say, "Wow, you know, what an incredible move Hans Vestberg made," or whomever made this decision internally. "Oh, what a great plan. Look, it saved the company." Like, that's not gonna happen. And AT&T has done an incredible job of creating solid plans at pricing people can live with. And T-Mobile has come a long way. and truly improve their network to the point where people are looking at it and saying, well, these networks are almost the same or very similar, or T-Mobile's good enough, or AT&T is good enough, and I can save money and get discounts and free lines and whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like they're starting to negotiate and give up certain things that have been true in the past. Like before, it was like, oh, I travel, I have to have Verizon. Well, now you can have AT&T and T-Mobile in a lot of instances. Truck drivers tell me that they have AT&T and it's as good as their Verizon, right?
In
So people have switched.
in
And
fact, I know more truck drivers now that have AT&T than Verizon, unless the company is providing them with the phone.
yeah, and then, along with T-Mobile becoming more competitive and, getting more coverage with the Sprint merger, and, they built some sites in rural that have really helped their coverage footprint. Like, people are starting to negotiate those things, Dennis. And that's why I think T-Mobile continues to grow, and AT&T has had a renaissance in growth for the last 2 or 3 years. They've, it's like T-Mobile has it's a waking up a giant in AT&T. They become competitive, and Verizon has not really adjusted well to this new landscape. Big shout out to Franco. Thanks for the super chat. Hashtag Socialist Dennis and hashtag SneedTech. Yeah. We haven't seen Socialist Dennis yet. He hasn't popped up and reared his monster head just yet. Yeah, a couple other things to note maybe here for Verizon. Somehow, some way, I think they're looking at this to help retain customers for customers that want to bump down, right? So they're trying to reduce the cost of their bill. They may be willing to sacrifice everything just to reduce the cost.
Well, I want to kind of pivot a little bit here, because I want to really I just thought of something we could talk about. It wasn't on the agenda, but Sneed, I didn't tell you this, but but I'm going to tell you it now. Do you want to know what I found in my community that disgusted me from Verizon?
Wait, what did you say?
Do you want to know what I found in my community that disgusted me with Verizon?
Oh, go ahead.
So, as you know, my community has FiOS and it's underground. And the pedestal where Verizon puts the fiber, where they hold the node, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's covered by like a green, like cover, like almost like picture like a sewage drain, but it's green and it's like a thick plastic instead.
Yeah. This is pretty much the same everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
broken, and their
Okay.
node is literally swimming in just dirty, muddy water.
Has anybody come out to fix this?
Nope. All that happened was the community members put some traffic cones over it, and there's just broken pieces of plastic all over the place. And it's been like that for a couple weeks. And I know those nodes are water resistant, but when it's submerged completely.
Yeah, but it's only for like a certain amount of time and a certain depth.
Oh yeah, when it's submerged completely like it is, it made me realize why Verizon FiOS always has issues where I'm at. And I'm bringing this up because it kind of touches on something, which is that Verizon has gotten very lazy at maintaining all of their stuff. Think about all the coverage that's been lost because Verizon did not replace 3G sites with any form of LTE, or the dead band 13 only sites where they just let the equipment go.
Well, they don't really have any 3G only sites anymore. They've upgraded every site to LTE. The problem is if the LTE radio fails and the only thing left there is 3G. Now people think that's a 3G only site, but they're not going back and fixing and replacing the 4G radios.
I don't know, man. There's some dead spots where you could only get 3G coverage. It's on old Route 18. And now it's just a dead zone entirely for Verizon.
Yeah, I've had internal engineering at Verizon look for 3G only sites and they can't find them.
Well, then there's a dead LTE panel that hasn't been replaced.
Oh, that happens a lot. And the problem is, Dennis, like in an area that isn't served with a lot of customers, they're unmotivated to go and replace the radio. Terrible. So like here's another thing to discuss. I think part of this, Dennis, I'm glad you brought it up. Verizon has always been known as the reliable carrier, but they're starting to have several outages just like the other two. So how are you going to tell people pay more for the premium experience, pay more for the America's most reliable network, but you're just like the other ones? You can't say you're the most reliable if you're going down as frequently as them.
Verizon's reliability is so suspect to me that I put them they're almost as bad as T-Mobile. almost. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even in areas where they have, I'm using quotation marks that you can't see, coverage on my phone, there's so little capacity on the network that it really can't do much besides basic web browsing. And I think a prime example that really highlights reliability is when you were doing your 4th of July fireworks stream. Remember when you were doing your speed test there?
Yes.
AT&T was able to get like 50 meg by like 5, I think, if I recall correctly, at that location, which is perfectly...
It was like 50 by 1. It was the only usable network, really.
Yeah, the only usable one. Verizon was like, I think, like 5 meg if you were lucky.
Yeah.
And that was on the LT. 5G DSS was slower, I think, if I remember.
It was like 2 or 3 meg, yep.
And then T-Mobile was like 0.4.
Couldn't use it.
Yep. But both of those in both situations were pretty unusable. AT&T being the only working one. The only thing that Verizon has to their name is how the call quality sounds. And most people don't use phone calls anymore. Traditional phone calls.
I want to just quickly do this from Vital 4644, the $5 super chat. Sprint was way better. One of the few that never had issues with Sprint data slowdown. No service inside my house with T-Mobile. Brother has Sprint. It works. Thanks, Vital. Appreciate you with the support. And big shout out to my brother C. Ova. Welcome to the show. And the Moose. We have a Moose sighting. Monday Madness with Moose. Go.
Moose is probably really excited to hear me trash talking Verizon right now.
No, I'm actually disappointed in Verizon. I'm really disappointed. I couldn't believe. I mean, Sneed, were you also under the impression that this is just sad, man?
It's a reach. It is a reach.
Why, out of all things you could have done, you did this, right? I mean, come on, man. I mean,
you know what this is, Moose? This is like somebody asked you for something, and you just gave them like the most haphazard effort ever. Like you asked them to sweep the floor, and there was like, there's dirt all over the floor. There's specks and all types of little like yarn thingies, and they swept it like 70% of the way. There's still some random specks. There's still a little bit of dust. It was haphazard. You know what I mean?
No, a better example would be someone asked you to turn in your homework assignment and you literally just copied Wikipedia without saying the source and bothering to check for the remaining details by expanding the tabs about the other.
You're saying
features.
Verizon cheated and plagiarized?
I mean, is anything that they did in this plan seem original in any way whatsoever?
Moose, what's better? This or the AT&T starter or the BYOD or the T-Mobile Essentials? Where does this stack up?
This is worse because this doesn't even, you can't add a discount on it.
It's facts.
People forget about that.
You can't do anything with this.
Yeah, it's straight up. This is the price. 25 a line at what, 5 lines or 6 lines? That's the max, up to 12. Dude, this is horrible.
Yeah, you can't finance a phone. You can't trade in a phone. You can't. I don't think you can't do like first responder. You can't do military. Oh, you can add discounts. Okay, I just got word from
you can. Interesting.
From a source. You can add discounts. Military teachers, nurse, and students. So they do qualify. I'm not sure what that percentage is. I guess it just depends. I remember them being like 10 or 15% though, Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so big shout out to MS with the super chat, $2.71. Hashtag VZW-fix-thos. Hashtag not 3G only. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, MS.
Dennis, what did you think when you first saw it? First reaction was like, wow.
I used the word trash.
Oh, well, here's one thing I thought of, right? If you were a business that needed 12 lines and you just need to like give lines to your employees and it was like calling, texting, just the device has data, like you could do this.
Right? I have a better idea, and I'd rather see Verizon do this if they want to come in being cost effective.
One second. Just got this in from the source. With military, teacher, nurse, and student discounts, one line is $10. 2 to 3 lines are $25. 4 lines is $20. $20. Wait, what?
Doesn't make sense.
This is one line 10. 2 to 3 lines is 25, maybe 25 each, and then 4 lines is 20 each. Got it. Okay. Oh no, is that the discount? Okay. There's a $10 discount on a line. There's a $25 discount on 2 to 3 lines, and there's a $20 discount on the 4 lines. Okay. Got it.
Well, I have a better idea that would make more sense if Verizon wants to try to have a more affordable plan. Bring back the data buckets. That's what I want. Give me, for people that are supposedly low data users that don't need an actual quote unquote unlimited plan, bring back a data bucket where there's no overage cost and just let people pay some fair rate just for the data with no line access charge, kind of like what Xfinity is doing, where like 10 gigs is $60 regardless of how many lines are on the plan because you're paying for the data. Do that.
But Dennis, the whole concept, and this is the only thing I agree with Peter Adderton on, like 100%. I back him up on this. Other stuff is arguable and speculative. This is 100% fact. Unlimited plans, while we thought they were going to hurt the carriers, in the long run, it has been a way for them to upsell their network access because the typical user only uses between 10 and 20 gigs. A data bucket, let's take, for example, international rates. I have a personal friend who just flew overseas, crossed the big pond, and went to England. He bought, I believe, a 50 gig plan
It was
for a
100
month.
gigs. If you're thinking about the same friend that I'm thinking about, it was 100 gigs that he bought, and I think he paid $15.
Yeah, I'm speaking about an older gentleman. Is that who you're talking about?
No, it's a younger gentleman.
Okay, I'm speaking about an older gentleman. It was $10. I was speaking to somebody who was in Jerusalem for a month and a half. They bought 2 of those months of service for $25 for 2 lines. Do you see what I'm saying, Dennis?
Yes.
They don't want that. We would like that. I think that's great. Dennis, do you know how many true unlimited lines I need?
None.
1. I need 1. All my other lines can have like 10 or 20 gigs. Real talk, bro. Real talk. I would like one. I would like 1 truly unlimited, but the rest of them, they can all be, shared bucket, whatever, limited.
Is the reason you need unlimited because of speed testing, or is it because you actually just want it for safety reasons?
Yeah, I actually want it. Yeah.
Do you want to know how many unlimited lines I actually need, Sneed?
None.
Yeah, 0. Honestly, if you gave me 100 gigabytes to just do with as I please, hotspot it, whatever, I don't think I'd actually have a month where I'd run into a problem with 100 gigs. Like, I think that'd be basically unlimited for my books, and I probably wouldn't even come close to using a fifth of it each month, to be honest. But I'd like to have that much. 100 gigs. Give me that for like $45. I'm not even trying to be crazy like European pricing. Like, if you give me 100 gigs for like $45, I'd be pretty cool with that.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to David. Thanks for coming through, bro, and I appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. You the man, homie. Also, I want to welcome Michael Peppertech, who is here. He says, it just jumped on me. I wish I could get a data only from Verizon, get that coverage so I don't use it for calls or texts, simply for data where I don't get T-Mobile coverage and calls route over VoLTE as it is. I think Visible could work for you in that instance. US Mobile is an option. I think there are a couple options for you, man.
US Mobile would be the one. US Mobile, you can literally get just data from US Mobile. Although, yeah, US Mobile would be one, and it's not an option yet, but it whenever it becomes available, based off what we had from the interview with Peter, Mobile X is probably shaping up to be an option like that as well for people, I would say.
Hey, Brandon E, appreciate all that you've done to support the channel, man. Good comment here. The US is always going to be much more expensive for internet and cellular because of infrastructure and geographical area. Yeah, I guess you could justify it as such, but we would like to see things change. The problem is the consumer in the US has no impact on what the carriers do in terms of structuring their plans. The carriers do everything to their wants and needs, and we're just kind of caught up in the crossfire. We don't dictate anything, and we don't really have consumer protections in this country. Just look at how big tech treats our data, you know? I mean, that's just a microcosm of things that we see on a day-to-day basis.
You know,
Um,
the irony of it all, Sneed, is that in the US we have more MVNO and prepaid options than anywhere else in the world. So
but we're the only country that has all those MVNOs and very few people are on them.
yeah, but I'm saying you were saying that the consumer has very little impact, and I'm saying that there's irony because we could have impact. It's just that,
We would have to respond to those MVNOs, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
our fun bucks, the way we're responding is we're saying we like free shiny phone, even if it means more expensive plan. That's how
But it's hard, Dennis. Like if we're gonna start comparing prepaid, postpaid, 90% of the time there's a steep drop off between postpaid and prepaid. Like
uh
you're gonna make exceptions for US Mobile, I get it. But like when it comes to priority, when it comes to like flexibility and plans and the postpaid, like on a multi-line account, postpaid's actually not bad. It's when you're paying single line, you're paying like $85-$90 for a premium plan.
disagree. I would say
You disagree?
prepaid
Dennis, what are
gets
you
you about
disagreeing with? Postpaid plans are like 85, $90.
pre prepaid so prepaid and MVO gets you at least 80 to 90% of the way there as far as the postpaid offerings go. And on your point about family pricing specifically is what I'm disagreeing with you with, because your prepaid brands like Cricket, for example, do offer family pricing at significantly cheaper rates than what AT&T charges, and tax and fees are included. Cricket, as an example, has QCI 8 on their unlimited plan. For Verizon, yes, there's US Mobile, but I would also throw Xfinity Mobile and Spectrum Mobile in that running of offering affordable family plans with a true. I mean, you tested Xfinity Mobile yourself; it's literally the Verizon experience. There's no real what's the word I'm looking for here, compromises happening when you pick an Xfinity Mobile plan, right? And then for T-Mobile, Metro PCS is a fine experience. Yeah, I mean, you're not getting quote unquote priority data on T-Mobile's network, but T-Mobile kind of has a dumb network from a network management standpoint, so it doesn't matter. You're not really missing anything. In fact, I would go out so far as to say that Metro's unlimited plan actually even includes better perks. I'd rather have Amazon over the Netflix, and tax and fees are included and it's cheaper.
All right, we got a super chat. This one from Kamikaze Kid. Appreciate all the support through all these years, man. Thanks for all that you do. I have a grandfather T-Mobile One Military Unlimited and Unlimited Hotspot. I think that's that T-Mobile One with the international add-on for the unlimited tethering and high-speed data. Verizon AT&T would do unlimited hotspot. That would be awesome. What do you think of that, Dennis? Think that structure.
I mean, unlimited hotspot would definitely be cool because I think it's silly that Verizon or AT&T care how the data is being used. But on the same token, I don't necessarily think it addresses the core problem here of why. I mean, it would definitely solve a pain point, but it doesn't solve the main issue here, which is that there shouldn't be so many unlimited plans, is what I'm trying to say. Like at best, maybe 2 unlimited plans are offered at best.
Like a basic one and then a more premium one, right?
Yeah, like
but it didn't work.
It did work. T-Mobile saw plenty of sales with T-Mobile One and One Plus back in the day.
Yeah, one example of it working, but only because it was super cheap.
I mean, T-Mobile One Plus at the time wasn't that crazy cheap in comparison to its competitors. It was $80. It's
one
only
line.
I
mean, talking about multi-line.
I think 4 lines of One Plus was $180. It was literally more expensive than in Magenta MAX is right now because of the free line deals.
Spectrum Mobile cost makes it so you might as well go US Mobile for better priority. $29.99 for 2 or more lines on Spectrum, 20 gig, no hotspot, $10 per line more to get the 30 gig plus hotspot. So they give you a couple options, I guess.
I'm just saying that, like, Unlimited means one thing to me, and literally it should be one that has priority data and one that doesn't. That's your difference. That's it. Everything else shouldn't matter. Data rates, like as far as like the video resolution, why are we capping that? I mean, I thought 5G was supposed to provide infinite capacity. Hotspot
Shows you that they're selling wolf tickets. You know what I'm saying, Dennis?
Yeah, hotspot, who cares? Data is data. Giga data is going to have the same cost to you whether it's used through a hotspot or on device. It doesn't make a difference for you from a data cost standpoint.
Moose, chime in, bro. Come in on this.
Well, I mean, we're absolutely right about that. Why are you limiting 480p, right? But again, it's because Verizon's network is not able to hold 1080p streams everywhere. They still have band, 13 everywhere.
Yeah, but to go from 480p to 720p, Moose, you're going from 1 megabit to 2 megabit. It's really not that. It's upsell. It's I know a lot of people think it's because of network restrictions. I don't think that's the primary reason. I think that is an absolutely secondary reason. It is 100% tied to upsell. They want to get you on a premium plan. And where you can make your argument, Moose, is going to be why they only stick you on 720p. But then I can counteract that and say, well, then why did they sell the 1080p add-on?
And I could also just say real quick, here's something really easy to say. Why punish everyone with a plan that limits you instead of just doing basic network management and saying, oh, there's not enough bandwidth here to offer X resolution. This is the best I can give you at this cell site.
And Moose will also throw this in. With the ultra wideband, they say, oh, you can have unlimited video throughout whatever. So they're trying to upsell you on getting a plan that includes the ultra wideband. You see what I'm saying, Moose?
Yeah. No, I see it.
I don't get how Verizon does this and how they don't think it's going to backfire. Like AT&T gave up. Remember the whole 5G plus thing? The millimeter wave they were going to charge and all that, and they're like, all right, that's enough of this. And then T-Mobile, they're like, nah, dude, we ain't doing that. And Verizon just dug in. They just modified it. I gotta admit, man, Verizon's approach to ultra wideband is an absolute failure. It is so bad.
One of the things that you mentioned, that's why I wanted to hop on today, was why did Verizon spend so much money on millimeter wave, right? The ultra wideband in the cities when they should have been spending that money in upgrading their sites in the rural areas so that they didn't have this issue where it's taking a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to upgrade a cell site, right? To C-band, right? Again, it goes back.
There's no ROI though. That's a simple business decision as much as I hate it. The fact that they're not upgrading rural towers and band 13 only sites fast enough. Moose, a tower upgrade to a macro site. I mean, how much are we talking, Moose? $100,000?
I mean,
crew, hardware, fiber, all the connectors.
Let's say 50 to 100K, depending on the site.
A millimeter wave node costs them 15, 20 grand.
Yes, but guess what's happening now?
And they can monetize that with home internet too. So it's kind of like, I think they're just doing numbers. I think they're just crunching numbers.
What do you think is more impactful right now
100%
in July
the macro.
2022?
100% the macro.
Right. July 2022, the macro is significantly more important than putting all these ridiculous millimeter wave nodes that people are barely able to connect to for 0.0001% of their day. But if the macro was fixed correctly, right, when the C-band was slapped on there, they would have been able to use C-band for more than 0.001 of the day. You get what I'm saying? Right? I honestly believe that Malay, what's his name? The network guy, Malady, that guy. He is going to go down as the guy that spent more money than he needed to on the network build, because remember, we did agree that was the only thing that they could do at the time, Verizon.
Correct.
To show that they had 5G, right? Is this millimeter wave nonsense. But by doing that, you sacrificed your rural customers that T-Mobile's taking hand over fist. Your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and fourth meal at night is all being taken by T-Mobile right now.
But Moose, real talk, man. If we're going to talk about network upgrades, nobody's doing it faster than Verizon.
Also, I just
And-
want to chime in real quick here and say something real fast.
Mhm, go
Millimeter
ahead.
Do
wave
that super
isn't.
chat, Dennis. Do the super chat for me, bud.
You got it.
Thank you.
MS coming in with a $2.71 super chat saying there is room for a totally unlimited plan for $149.95.
So that would price it what, about, $50 a line, $40 a line?
I think he's saying that the one line should be $149.95. I think he's saying.
No, I think it's 4 lines for $150.
There is room for a totally unlimited plan for $149.95. He's using for FOR. He's abbreviating the number with the number 4. I think.
Oh, a single line for $150?
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh. Come on, MS.
But hold on. I want to go back to Moose's and your point. You said millimeter wave nonsense was your guys' wording. I'm going to hard disagree with you. As someone that was a naysayer, I'm a believer. Millimeter wave.
Come on, that was Moose, man. I didn't say nonsense. You know how I
Millimeter
feel about the
wave.
millimeter wave.
Moose, a singular individual might only connect to millimeter wave 0. Whatever you said, a percentage of the time. But the impact that it has for offloading a huge amount of traffic off that macro makes a location go from totally unusable to getting decent, respectable speeds. Like, I can tell you right now, point blank, if Verizon didn't put millimeter wave over in Pittsburgh until they got their C-band, I promise you'd have a bazillion calls of people calling in saying Verizon's not working because it was that congested before they added the millimeter wave sites to help offload traffic.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy. But the problem is that look at what's happening right now. The problem that's happening right now that nobody's actually addressing is that Verizon is losing customers at a rate I've never seen in my life before.
But they're not losing the customers because the network is congested.
They are losing the customers for 2 reasons. Number one,
it's pricing, right?
The network is too expensive for the congestion that they're receiving. Yes, it is based on congestion.
I don't think it is. I think the biggest issue really is just strictly pricing. What am I getting for dollar spent? It's really just comes down to that for the average consumer.
So then I guess Moose has a compelling argument. Then he's saying, well, if your experience is going to be limited due to congestion, then what you're willing to pay decreases. Like, they're basically saying, I'm not paying $70, $80 a month for Verizon if it's going to be somewhat congested sometimes. I'll just get Verizon, AT&T or T-Mobile, pay a little less even, and have a more pleasurable experience. Less slowdowns and less congestion. But I think what this boils down to is this. The thing about, like, what Moose is saying, Verizon is upgrading the network faster than anybody, and I'll tell you guys why. Nobody's building out C-band faster, and nobody's building out millimeter wave on any type of measurable level except for Verizon. So they're upgrading the network the fastest, but they have the most work to do because they neglected sites a lot. Like, Moose, what has FirstNet done for the AT&T wireless network over the last 3 years?
Yeah, one touch. They implemented that strategy so that now, right, that you're seeing the benefits even onto your cell site. They went in, they took 24, 48 hours, and then boom, they're out. With C-band upgrades, everything. Right?
I'm blessed, bro. I look at the Cleveland market, because AT&T has upgraded some of these sites within the last couple of years. AT&T comes in and puts C-band up in 2 days, and they're gone. Right? And then Verizon hasn't been on these sites in a longer time, so they have to come in and do more. They're modifying more stuff. They have to convert a lot of Nokia gear to Samsung. That's complicated. Some Verizon upgrades take a week or two. Some are taking months before they go live. There's a difference in that. You know what I'm saying, Moose? Like, that stuff matters. The crews are slowed down in some instances.
Yeah.
And Verizon's also having radio failures. So they have to come back, take down the old radio, put up the new radio, right? It's all time consumption. I feel like AT&T is in a good groove. And I've said this time and time again. You're going to be surprised once AT&T gets to going in your market to see how well they do here. And it's just the way things are for AT&T now. This goes back to 2018. They've started to really pay attention to wireless.
Yeah.
Also,
go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick, if you could highlight, I just want to address a couple fast comments. This is to Derek's comment. He said Verizon is trying to do speed tiers for mobile. Think about no ultra wideband for low end plans and ultra wideband for high end plans. Um, I I somewhat disagree. If they're trying to do speed tiers, they're doing it in a very convoluted way, and it doesn't make sense from a business perspective. Right now, Verizon's goal is to try to offload as much traffic as possible onto C band where there's more capacity to help free up the skinnier band 13, band 66 channels. So this way of doing it with like limiting access to coverage is silly from an ROI point of view. And then there was another comment that had come in from it was from somebody. Here it is, Michael Peppertech. He was talking about how I'm trying to find the time spot here. Michael Peppertech. Here it is. He was saying how Verizon slowed down for him over the last few months. It went from 150 by 30 to 80 by 10 in his apartment, and they need to do something. I just want to be clear, and I just want to get the pulse of the panel here. Do we consider 80 by 10 to be congested? Because that doesn't meet my definition of congestion in my eyes. Does anyone here consider 80 by 10 to be?
Hold on. The actual engineering definition of congestion, right, is anything below 2 Mbps on the download.
Now
right?
give me your definition, Moose.
Well, so then that's why I am a very ridiculously extreme definition of congestion.
I love it.
Because to me, 2 Mbps is BS. We are in 2022. If I'm getting 2 Mbps on a millimeter wave or C-band, we have a problem. Straight up. Oh, and N41. We have a problem.
Facts.
Because if you are getting 2 Mbps, right,
mm-hmm.
on a 200, 100 megahertz channel, damn.
Guys,
I'm speechless.
To give you perspective, Dennis, what would you do on a home internet connection with 80 by 10?
Everything I'd want to do, and that's coming from Dennis, the power user.
I knew you were going to say that. See? And guys, everybody has the ability to evaluate networking excellence, and I respect those that have high standards, but 80 by 10 is not something to be discouraged with, nor do I really feel it would, I don't know, be fair to evaluate that as congestion. I think congestion is, will I get buffering video? Is there something I can't do with it?
Congestion for me is anything that's less, and this is a very extreme example. I know this is extreme, but congestion to me is anything that's less than 10 by like 2.
Okay, I was going to say mine is like under 10 megabits for downlink and under 5 megabits for uplink.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say under 5 is because I live stream. If I wasn't a mobile live streamer and doing tower handoffs, I might have some more wiggle room, but you kind of need a little bit of wiggle room there. So 5 megabits uplink, I think is fair.
5 megabits uplinks is better, but the reason I picked 2 as my absolute lowest bare bone minimum.
Does that give you video calling?
Because that gives you a FaceTime call.
Gotcha.
And that's live streaming is all well and good. Don't get me wrong, but what do I do more on my phone? Calling, specifically with some form of VoIP-based app, WhatsApp, FaceTime. I mean, I do audio calls traditional, but like 10 by 2 is the absolute bare bones minimum for today for things to work without me really noticing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Abdullah says congestion can also result in 100 plus pings and high jitter. That's actually how they control the network management piece. They actually control it with latency and jitter. And those are kind of like the residual or kind of like the side effects of it, the symptoms. The speed is just kind of like the outcome. Goddess Hylia says, band 48 LT Verizon has been great, 500 downlink speeds. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's wider channeled, right? Well, I should say it's, what do they do? 3, 4, 5 carrier aggregation sometimes with band 48. So you can get like 20 by 20 by 20, and then, PCS and AWS, and you get 500 megabits easily. I mean, I've tested sites with CBRS and C-band, and the CBRS was faster than the C-band. It's crazy. They were running like 30 megahertz of PALs and 40 megahertz of unlicensed. So that's 70 megahertz of CBRS. It was faster than the C-band.
Also, Sneed, I wish I could highlight comments because you
Yeah.
had the same MS comment up, but I wanted you to highlight the other two, but that's okay. Anyway, I hope
Which
that
one's
helped.
Dennis? Which one, Dennis?
2115 was the Michael Pepper comment. 2115:28 was the Michael Pepper comment I was answering. And then before that, it was the Derek comment at 2110 that I had pasted to you in the private chat. But that was the one I answered as far as congestion, and and we all agree on the panel that's not congestion. Yes, it's a slowdown in speed from what you were getting, I suppose, but it's definitely far and away not congestion at
That
all.
is a
Those,
pretty steep decrease, though, right? That's cut in half or less.
I mean, I guess, but like for all we know, I mean, for all intents and purposes, for all we know, Verizon could have changed the tilt on an antenna where it started pointing a little bit differently for a wave. So like maybe it's not congestion, but an RF signal difference that occurred here, or alternatively as well, mentioning maybe some building or tree or something went in the way that reduced his signer and his signal quality, because
Yeah.
uplink is the first
Yeah.
to suffer, right?
Yeah.
When
Facts. Yeah.
and literally it can be a small difference, like a 7 dB difference of signal quality can be the difference between 1 upload and 10 upload, you know?
Facts. Hey, we got there was one from just came in actually. This one from Kamikaze Kid. Appreciate the super chat. Another one. Just wanted to say thank you for all that you guys do to keep us informed. Very much appreciated. And you are very welcome. And we're happy to do it. I think we all pretty much are very enthusiastic and just kind of like entrenched in the efforts. Like for me, it's a labor of love to make the content and do the updates and the speed testing and the technologies and all that. I love it, man. It's fun to me. Appreciate it, Kamikaze Kid. All
Wait,
right,
so going
Tim
back
says,
to what we
oh,
were talking about with Verizon, right?
here, Tim
So
says 10 megabits
yeah,
per second is unacceptable, Moose. You agree?
10 megabits.
10 meg
Well,
under
no, I
10
mean
megabits in 2022 is
we
unacceptable.
we had a discussion, right? That if you get consistent 10 by 10, you're good, right? Remember that long time ago in one of the podcasts
Yeah, but
you
what
mentioned.
I
Yeah,
think he's implying here is when you're at 10 and you start dipping, then it becomes,
that's
a
right.
flawed
Hmm.
experience.
Absolutely. If you go below 10, some funky stuff is going on, man. Because because Sneed literally said on the podcast a couple of podcasts ago, if you give me 10 by 10 consistently, I'm good. I'm
Facts.
satisfied with my needs. I have low ping with that 10 by 10. I'm good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you need to upload, 10 is not going to cut it, chief.
Yeah, that's so like if you're a content creator and you're uploading on mobile, you're going to want to get those numbers as high as you can. If you're streaming 4K on your phone, you're probably going to need a little bit more bandwidth and throughput for your downlink. But like, dude, you're doing 1080p no problem on 10 megabits.
100%.
You're with a little more throughput, you're getting 4K no issues. Get closer to 20 megabits perhaps. The uplink, you know, uh, outside of uploading large files, you're good with 10 megabits. That's how I see it.
I mean, remember when I did my little purposely throttling myself, and I came on here and I did a 5x5 connection, and no one noticed a difference in streaming quality?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Dennis, is like that's fine. But if I was uploading a 10-minute speed with Sneed video and it's in 4K, 10 minutes, man, it's like 4 gigs.
Yeah, but are you uploading it over wireless like that, or are you uploading it
Well,
over Wi?
no, but I'm
Yeah.
saying if I wanted to, that would be a use case where you would need more uplink, but that's really it. I'm taking that home and I'm uploading on the fiber. Come on, dog. SMTH got fiber, dog.
That's my point. Like that's my point. Like if you're on the go and you're uploading something like that,
Hold on a second. Moose, kick the music. AT&T fiber for the win, bro. Kick the music.
kick the music like we're
Give
out
me-
of here.
No,
no.
though. You kick the music. You just go ahead, Dennis.
Never getting demonetized. Never getting demonetized.
But like if you're on the go and uploading something on the go like that, it doesn't really matter. And realistically speaking, I'm just calling it for what it is. The longest thing someone's going to upload while they're on the go for mobile is probably going to be at max maximum a 15-second clip for like TikTok or something.
Yeah, yeah, but they
And
are telling us
it's not even going to be 4K. It's going to be compressed to all hell down to like 720p.
480p or something, yeah. But they are telling us that we should be moving towards a mobile lifestyle where you can do whatever you want mobile that you would do on your wireline and your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I'm just going to call it for what it is. That future doesn't exist.
Not yet.
No, I'm saying like no. You're misunderstanding me. I'm saying that future doesn't exist. Period. There's always going to be some use case for why you're doing something over wireline because demands are always going to increase, and realistically speaking, wireless is never going to be able to keep up with the amount of capacity that a fiber connection can provide.
Dennis,
Period.
what you talking about, bro? We got mmWave, dog, doing 300 megabit uplink today.
Yes, and we got fiber residential doing 20 gigabits per second today.
Yeah, but I'm talking about being able to upload that 4 gig video on mmWave.
You're missing my point. My point
What is
was
your
that
point?
my point was that there's always going to be a reason you're doing something on a fiber connection over wireless. This mobile centric idea that you were talking about is never going to exist because there's always going to be tasks that require more bandwidth than the wireless network operator can provide compared to the fiber of that given time period.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to replace wireline. I'm saying if I'm mobile, if I'm out and I'm 20 miles from my home fiber and I wanted to upload that 4 gig video, I could on mmWave.
Sure. It'll just always be slower, is what I'm saying.
300 megs ain't bad today, Dennis.
300 megs today sounds great. 300 megs in maybe 5 years time. Is it still going to be incredible? Who knows? Based off of
next gen uplink for mmWave is probably going to exceed 800 megabits.
Anyway.
Oh, Dennis, you didn't like that. Why?
No, it's not that. I'm just saying anyway. Thank you for the awesome super chat, Ohio Rail fan. He said, Yo, Snee, thank you for the awesome content. Love watching your videos every day. And then we got another super chat coming in from TJ with a super sticker, actually, of a pair fist bumping in the air. Yeah.
Thanks, TJ. Appreciate the super chats, gents. You guys are awesome.
Wait, so going back to the Verizon thing really quick, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you would have rather... Well, okay, let me just clarify my position here. I'm not saying to have stopped the mmWave completely, but they should have at least envisioned a couple more sites, that they needed attention, right? So then people don't just start leaving to another carrier, right? That's what I'm saying.
You think the attention to mmWave is the reason they've lost customers?
No, that's not... taking it like that is a little bit out of context. I think
you're saying they should have paid more attention to those sites that needed upgrading.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because instead what they did, right, is that they focused on the urban core, upgrading the urban core so that urban customers didn't leave, which is fine. I understand. But look at what's happening now, right? People are leaving in droves, dude. Like we've seen the numbers.
So Moose, this is what I'm taking. Verizon made mistakes by not upgrading enough of the tower sites that have been neglected for a long time. T-Mobile still has coverage gaps in rural America. AT&T is the only one that's been addressing those issues.
T-Mobile with the coverage gaps are still taking customers, which is shocking, right?
Yes, yeah, and do you want to know? But do you want to know why, Moose? The brass tacks here is literally, if Verizon came out tomorrow and said, "Guys, we're going to actually reduce the cost of our plans, and we're going to come in at $85 for our most premium option, tax and fees included, and just literally match T-Mobile pricing, essentially, tax and fees included across the board." Promise you, not only would no more customers be leaving, you would see explosive growth happening the other direction. People would be going to Verizon like bees to honey. Because the network part of it doesn't... I feel bad saying this, but the average consumer doesn't care about the network. Like, honest to God, I mean this sincerely. Like when I talk to my dad, right? I get a hard on with AT&T in my area, right? I think it's the best thing since I think it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? 250 down, 100 up at my house on LT is incredible, right? When I talk to my dad, you know what he cares about? Can I place a phone call? Does it sound good? Does the text message work? Can he load up? Can he use Google Voice because he loves using that voice assistant? Does it actually work? If all those things work, it's great. It's great for him. He only notices problems when there's no bars on the phone. That's the reason why T-Mobile would never work for him. It's the reason that Verizon, God bless their soul, wouldn't work for them, because in Pittsburgh, there's not going to be a single spot that you go to where AT&T doesn't have a bar of service on the phone. That's why he's been with them for like ever, literally. And even if there is the one or two moments where he doesn't get service, it still doesn't bother him all that much. He's just like, meh, I don't have my phone, whatever. It's just whatever. Is the price point still good? Has the company treated me good? Have they tried to bend me over the barrel and nickel and dime me, or do they treat me well anytime I need to call into them? That's what people start looking at. It's price and the overall experience with the company. If you hate the company, like people hate cable, you're going to be desperate to switch to anybody, regardless. If the company is raising your pricing on you, you're going to be reevaluating your relationship with that company. Like, oh, after all these years of loyalty, this is how you treat me, and then you go look somewhere else. If Verizon did a pro-consumer move, tax and fees included, lower the pricing, I guarantee you, not only would we stop seeing bleeding, but we'd probably see an explosive net ad quarter for them. Period.
Hey, Moose, Michael Peppertech has a question about the best option for testing AT&T. He probably wants to come in low cost, but he wants to kind of gauge the coverage and be
Cricket.
available.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably do either Cricket or actually, even before Cricket, I'd go to Walmart and I'd get the prepaid AT&T SIM there, right? I think it's like flat $50 with tax and fees, right? It's the AT&T prepaid.
So AT&T prepaid is $50 plus tax and fees. Cricket is tax and fees included.
How much is an iPad line?
25, I think.
Would that be the cheapest way to get access to the data network?
But it's debatable, right? I mean, which iPad are you trying?
Well, he just wants to check coverage, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Or is that is the modem situation going to be a little sketch?
Modem, yeah.
I got one for you if you don't mind deprioritized speeds and other little hiccups, and you're just looking for coverage. Red Pocket.
All right, maybe some of those entry level MVNOs with like buckets, a handful of gigs or something like that. If you're trying to keep it low, or if you're just you want to come in at a good bargain for an unlimited plan, Cricket. Kind of like the guys kind of alluded to.
I like Cricket. I like everything about them, including their little fluffball mascots.
Hi.
I think you guys are gonna like the upgrades that Cricket is gonna be doing for this next iPhone.
I mean, my half sister has Cricket. She's had them for quite some time now.
I like Cricket. I like Cricket a lot. Yeah.
Josh brings up a good point. I guess you could do Dish Network because they're gonna rely on so much of that AT&T roaming.
That is true.
Yeah, facts.
By the way, we still have not done a predictions for the quarter.
When do you want to do that, Moose? Should we do it this week? Maybe Friday?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, we should definitely.
Because we got to get it in here this week because at the end of next week, I think is when the earnings are going to happen, right?
That's right. So that's why I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking, because
I got a whole sheet of notes, Moose, for each carrier. The strengths, the weaknesses, the flaws, the things that they shine this quarter. I mean, it's going to be a triple whammy for sure.
Hey, Sneak, can I ask you an honest question?
Of course. Do you think you're going to get an honest answer?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I honestly want to know, man, why do you stay with Verizon? I mean, you said it before. You've agreed with me. AT&T is Verizon with capacity, and we agree that they're giving better pricing. So why in the world do you stay on Verizon as your primary?
Well, my current plan comes in a couple dollars cheaper than AT&T's premium plan per line. So the pricing to me is a little bit different. If I was on one of the newer plans, then it'd be cheaper for me to be on AT&T. But because I have a 2017 New Unlimited plan, it works out a little bit cheaper. Plus, I get my parents the discount on the Verizon 5G home. You get what I'm saying? So, like, that's the scenario that's kind of sort of keeping me there. From a network standpoint, Verizon goes down the least in Cleveland. The tower sites, generally speaking, it has the tightest grid. They have mmWave here. They've got a ton of C-band. It's really good. Like, I know you said you tested and Verizon was congested as you went through your route through Ohio. I've never said I got to get the hell off this network. It's so congested. That day has never happened. Have I witnessed slowdowns before? Yes, but I've had that on every network. Have I had outages on Verizon before? I have, but I have them the least on Verizon. I'm speaking to my experience here. Things would, like you're saying, is different in PA. I don't think I'd have Verizon if I was in PA. I think I would probably have AT&T, and I think it's probably a slam dunk. I mean, AT&T is getting good enough to the point where I'm starting to mull the move from Verizon to AT&T because now I'm going to get the discount with the fiber. You know, by having the wireless and the fiber together, and the C-band build is phenomenal. So now I'm starting to look at it like, is the $2 per line really worth it to stay on Verizon?
And don't forget the teacher discount.
Exactly. So I can stack these discounts. So when I include all those things, the decision gets a lot more dynamic, and I'm leaning towards AT&T right now as it is.
I mean, only reason I say that is because my impression of Verizon is like someone that fell asleep at the wheel. Like that's my impression of Verizon. Like, I see it in every little thing. Like, I use the Verizon Fios example, right? My service is fine. I feel horribly bad for anybody that signs up that's past my pedestal because it's just submerged right now, and they're gonna take forever to fix. Like literally, Sneed, I'm willing to bet you $50. I'll Venmo it to you if I'm wrong. I'm willing to bet you good money that pedestal doesn't get fixed until the wintertime. And by that point, that water is going to freeze. And the only reason they're going to come out to fix it is because they're going to get phone calls because that thing's going to be completely destroyed.
So, I got to turn this around to you, Dennis. Do I know what I'm talking about? Like, am I a credible source? Do you view me as a reliable authority when it comes to wireless networking?
Yes.
I go with Verizon here. There are several reasons why. You know what I'm saying? Now, I trust you, I think, as much as you trust me when it comes to these types of things too. And then when I start seeing the same things you see, the pieces kind of start to come together. What you're telling me about Verizon Fios does not surprise me. I've heard people say this. This is not like the first time. You know what I mean? So I get it. We have seen them neglect, and we have seen them, not do certain things that they should have been doing, and it's why they've fallen behind. The excellence that once was Verizon, it is 100% respectable to say they're not who they once were. The Verizon 1.0, right? The original, excellence of networking. It's not the same anymore. I've said this in videos before. The days of Verizon being this dominant, reliable carrier, it needs to be questioned now.
Side note, by the way, just so you have perspective, I remember that I took pictures of it because I was talking with Carlos. I sent you some quick pictures so you could see what I was talking about as well, just so you have perspective.
Dennis, let's get to these super chats. Could you do this one, please, on the screen?
Absolutely. So EMT837 coming in with a super chat. He says he totally agrees with Dennis's comment on Verizon.
Dennis, you're so daggone smart.
Does Verizon not care, or is it the shareholders that are keeping Verizon from doing the taxes and fees included? I think Verizon cares about their bottom line, in that right now they're still seeing higher and higher record-breaking profits from raising costs at the moment. Like, the loss in customers isn't enough to make up for the difference in additional revenue that's being added from adding to their costs, essentially, from a profit standpoint. And that's why they don't care at the moment.
Moose, how do you see the profitability piece versus the growth piece for Verizon? That's kind of what I think is going on here.
It's the biggest battle, man, because I have to agree that, Shareholders are not going up in arms on Verizon yet because their revenue is increasing. However, the day that the revenue decreases, which it is coming, the day that the revenue decreases, and it is coming, don't ever think that it's not
But
coming,
Moose, how is that day coming when they're growing in fixed wireless access?
because their costs have increased dramatically and they have not done enough. They haven't. I'm serious. They have
But
not done enough to address it.
the home internet generates 25 to $50 a month. They have, I think they're going to have quarters where they're adding 300,000 a queue.
Oof, damn.
Yeah,
Very aggressive targets.
I got them adding 200,000 automatic. I got 300,000 on a good queue.
Damn.
I see
Very
them. I
aggressive.
see them literally having years where they could potentially add 3 million in a year.
Dang.
I'm not joking. I mean, look, I agree with you and respect the fact that people hate cable. Do I think that hatred is? Do I think that rationale? Do I think it's a rational decision? No. Do I think that Verizon's fixed wireless product is a good home internet replacement for what it is? Yes, for most people. Do I think it will sell, especially at that price point? Hell to the yes. So
I think 1 to 1.5 million is very, very doable on most years for Verizon. 3 million? Dang, Dennis.
I'm saying that in the early onset, I could see Verizon hitting the ground running and having a Superman year where they basically, like, the way this would have to play out, Sneed, is they would have to take a page out of Cable's book. Remember those new Comcast promos we were talking about?
Yeah.
Verizon would need to basically do that. They need to basically come in and be like, get your home internet plus our cell phone service for $105 all in. Here you go. That's for your internet and your cell phone. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they'd have to do like one of those. But if they did that, I could see that thing selling like hotcakes to the point where they are the only thing limiting their sales for that year is the equipment on the warehouse. Like, that's how well I could see it selling.
Super chat from Caesar. Appreciate you, my friend. Seen a lot of 5G plus midband pop up in the outskirts of LA County. I'm from Whittier. Moose and I never thought I would see AT&T C-band pop up in Whittier until years. Moose, comment to this and then
What did I tell you?
Revenues
What
in
did I tell
Verizon.
you? I'm telling you that this quarter is going to be the biggest expansion of C-band in LA. We already have reports of Ontario Mills getting C-band. We're getting more places. Whittier. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's going to see that these carriers, they are at the beck and call of Apple. Okay. Everybody doesn't agree with me on this, but the facts don't lie, man. The facts don't lie.
Moose, finish your piece about the Verizon revenues and such.
Yeah. So again, what I'm saying about the Verizon revenues is that eventually they're going to hit a ceiling, and we've talked about this. What happens when all the people that you upsold in your current base, you got them, right? What happens, in the situation with AT&T back in the John, what's that guy's name?
Donovan.
Oh, yeah, John Donovan days, right? John Donovan did that thing where it was a 2 unlimited plans, and it was extremely expensive compared to the original unlimited plans before then, right? It didn't work. I think we will see very shortly here that ceiling from Verizon. I mean, remember I predicted it last year. I was off a year. I think it's going to be this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just a year early.
Yeah.
Moose, the prophet. You guys didn't know. I mean, this is what Moose does on the weekends. He reads tarot cards and does some future predictions.
I've been on point, but it's not good to be on point on it, because it's like you realize that something drastic is going to need to happen in order for Verizon not to continue losing so many customers.
Hey, Moose. Question from RFK Tech. When is N77 going to be shown on a daggone coverage map?
I have no idea.
Nobody has
no idea.
Can I just say real quick, too? I want to give some equal shade to AT&T where it's warranted. It makes me so mad that AT&T purposely makes their coverage map as obtuse as possible. When carriers do that, it makes me feel like they don't have confidence in their network build, and I feel like it's a crying shame, because AT&T's network, in my opinion, is the most consistent and reliable today.
All right, so you know what my hypothesis is, why they don't map it?
Why?
They don't wanna pay anybody to map it. They don't wanna pay somebody to create a map. They don't wanna pay somebody to the time, the multiple, you know, people, designers, the resources that it would take to actually produce the map. They don't wanna put money into that. I'm not even joking, bro. I mean, AT&T is the king of layoffs. They're the king of cost cutting, leaning out, reducing redundancies and eliminating extra costs. I'm not kidding. I think it's just they don't wanna pay.
You say that, but when I think of AT&T, I think of the king of bureaucracy. AT&T has so many redundant employees for no reason
You
that
can't you can't lay off 20,000 people and tell me they're not the cost-cutting king.
they can lay off 20,000 people when they were employing like a million more than the other two, you know?
That's a huge company, Dennis.
I'm
I mean,
just saying.
when they lay off employees, they lay off thousands at a time, and they do that every year.
Right. And they end up rehiring back a lot of them for like iPhone sales or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. Anywho,
And by the way, that speaking about iPhone sales, this year is supposed to be like the super cycle that was supposed to be last year. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know
I think.
how.
Well, here's why I think it might happen, Dennis. I think it's going to be because a lot of people are getting out of not just the 10s and the 10Ss of the world, the 11s. I think people are now
Yeah.
looking, okay, I skipped the 12, I skipped the 13, 14 seems about right. You're putting yourself at that 2-3 year mark where
hmm
50, 60, 70% of the user base starts looking at upgrades.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I feel like this year, I don't actually feel like this year is going to be too hot for iPhone sales. I mean, Apple's actually reducing what they were looking at buying. And based off the rumors, Apple isn't going to be putting the new process of the new what is it, 16? That's only going to be available in the Pro Max and possibly the Pro.
Does
And
the average user know what that means, Dennis?
no.
I honestly think this is how it's going to go. iPhone 14, it's free if I trade in my iPhone 10, 10s. Yeah, basically any phone from the 10 up, I'm going to do it. It's old, my battery's already done, my screen is done, my camera is blah, right? That's the average consumer is going to be thinking about that. And then people like T-Mobile are going to be even throwing in gift cards and all this other stuff, right? If you qualify on the Magenta MAX. I already know how it's going to go, man. Now, this is what I'm anticipating, right? Because we have heard the rumor from Prosser. We've heard the situation. It's going to be $100 more expensive. So the promos are going to be $100 more than this year. It's obvious.
Yeah, but the carriers have already adjusted by moving to 36-month leases.
Could be.
I guess my point is that I don't know if I don't know if there's going to be enough physical design changes in the iPhone this year to warrant such an uptick in sales, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but how many people are going to be getting the iPhone upgrade program this year, or the new rumored iPhone subscription program?
I don't know, man.
Dude, think about what I'm about to say. Okay? How many iPhones are on Verizon? How many iPhone users are on Verizon and AT&T? Just those two carriers.
Probably between 50 to 70% of their subscriber base.
More.
I'd say Moose over 200 million customers.
There's out of the how many is it? I think 220 million customers, right, between the two of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to say very confidently 75% of those customers are iPhones. Dude, you have a
Verizon's
huge
got 140 million customers, and AT&T's at what, like 105?
Yeah, 10 something. Yeah. I'm telling you, I can comfortably say that this year is going to be a very healthy upgrade cycle if the supply chain is ready.
And the carriers offer those incredible subsidized deals.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, if they offer less compelling deals, you think that maybe slows down the upgrade cycle?
I think that would slow it down, of course. And I think that the fact that Apple isn't buying the type of quantities that they typically buy is also going to slow it down too. Like, I think supply is going to be an issue. I think the deals are going to be an issue. And I think that discretionary spending overall is going to be an issue. Like, i.e., I'm just going to use the example of T-Mobile here. If you have to have Magenta MAX to take advantage of this deal, then I feel like that's going to eliminate a large potential base of people that might have been willing to buy an iPhone if they could have got the deal, but they're not willing to upgrade to get the deal, if that makes sense.
You'd be surprised how many people on T-Mobile would get Magenta MAX just for the free iPhone.
I mean, I'm saying there's a portion of people that are like that, sure, but I'm also saying that if your goal is to sell as many iPhones as possible and lock in people for a guaranteed 3 years, you give the deal to everyone, right? Like, that's the way you do it, right? Because these financing deals are basically contracts for the carriers, contracts 2.0, right? But the way things have progressed and the way I see it happening this fall is I see the best deals going to Magenta MAX customers, unlimited premium customers, and Verizon's like get more or higher customers. Or play more and higher customers.
I actually am gonna do a prediction here. I have a theory that this year might be the first year that every carrier might be on the same playing field in terms of in terms of the promotions, where you have to get the maximum plan, the best plan, not the best plan, the most expensive plan in order to qualify for the best promotion. I'm going to go on record as of today. I have a very strong feeling because the idea of this year is to grow the revenue. It's obvious. T-Mobile's doing it, right? Magenta MAX, they're hurting, they want to make more money. Verizon, yeah. What happened?
I said that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. But
including AT&T though, because AT&T has not done that aggressively, where it's like you have to have the performance plan, right?
Yeah. What happened to the comments, Sneed?
I just reset the comment section by changing the brand folder. This comment, I mean, okay, I'll explain this to like in the most simplest of terms. No disrespect, but in what universe would this ever happen? Please go look at the market cap for AT&T and Verizon, and we'll have that conversation another day.
I almost had a stroke reading that comment and decided to silence myself because it made me just as angry as when Scallop Boy Zero Cool was trying to tell me that T-Mobile was going to buy Comcast. Like,
Moose, what's the market caps for AT&T and Verizon?
Let's check. I have it right here. Okay, market cap of AT&T right now is at 147.9 billion. Verizon market cap is at 212 billion.
Yeah, I can't see $150 billion company being purchased by a company unless it was the other company was worth like 400 or 500 billion.
They'd have to be like a $1 trillion company.
Yeah, who's gonna regulate that? Like,
I was gonna say that will instantly get declined because now what you have, if Verizon and AT&T get back together, now what you have is called Bell Telephone.
Yeah,
and you think pricing is bad right now? My God, be prepared to sell your firstborn child and give up one of your kidneys just to have one cell phone plan.
By the way, speaking about that, Dennis, I wanted to ask both of you, what did you guys think about the situation in Canada just a few days ago?
With the major network outage?
Yes, we need to talk about this.
My thoughts were it sucked.
They blamed it on poor maintenance.
Yeah, they blamed it on like equipment or something. It sucked though. It was pretty garbage, and it legitimately impacted my workflow when I was working. So it was pretty annoying.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Do you guys want to like give a rundown of what happened? Because people were like, "What the hell is going on in Canada right now?"
How many carriers were impacted?
One,
the biggest one.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Rogers?
It was
Rogers.
It was Rogers. They were the biggest one, and because they were so big, it still impacted others. So
yeah.
All right, let's see here what it says. wait, I just want to make sure I get a reputable source.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. According to the reports, Rogers restored the service after a vast majority of the customers experienced massive outage.
Yes.
It says here that it took down entire operations of internet, mobility, and home phone services. This happened
Yeah.
Saturday morning, uh, and they indicated that customers may be experiencing a delay in regaining full service. So they even put out messages saying this is going to take a while. Later on Saturday afternoon, services were, quote, have been restored. Network and systems are close to fully operational. It was a network system failure following a maintenance update. It said we disconnected the specific equipment and redirected traffic, which allowed our network and services to come back online over time as we manage traffic volumes returning to normal levels.
So to put it into perspective, right? Rogers, the biggest company, telecommunications company in Canada, went down straight up, no service for several hours. Dude, that's like if Verizon or AT&T went down for several hours. No communications, no phone calls, no internet, no text, nothing. Straight up no service on the top left. That's completely unacceptable. Like, that is ridiculous. So anyways, Dennis, your piece, because this has actually impacted you. Dennis, you there? Probably talking on mute.
Dennis?
So anyway, I mean, Sneed, what do you think about this, man? Imagine if Verizon went down, the entire nationwide, everything down for a full, 12 hours plus.
I honestly, Moose, it'd be the equivalent of any one of our big three going down because that's how big our carriers are.
Yeah.
Right. Because like, I don't know how many people, Rogers serves, but like Verizon's 140 million plus all the MVNOs. AT&T's 100 plus million plus all their MVNOs and connected cars and IoT, right? All that stuff. And T-Mobile, same situation, right?
Yeah.
Right. They serve a ton of MVNO and customers, so,
Right.
it's a pretty crazy event, Moose. I actually didn't expect the show to go this long. Moose, I'm actually ready to close this out. Is there anything else
Of
for
course.
the order?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good? Good for the order?
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome. Thanks to everybody for their super chats. Please do me a favor and like this video and then share it out to all your socials, to your friends and family. Help the channel get happy in the YouTube algorithm. And also, check out some of my other content. You guys can watch some videos if you need more of a fix from the SMT. Dennis is back with us. Dennis, you want to take us home, buddy?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for coming on and watching. As always, sorry for my surprise disconnect. Fios decided to die last minute.
Surprise.
But thank you, everyone, for watching out. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you get the hashtags going that Sneed is infamous for in the community. Hashtag Moose Sighting, hashtag Tech Jesus, hashtag Telco Poppy. And if you're looking for more content or just don't know what to do with yourself, may I recommend you check out the Best Phone Plans channel, where we've had some pretty good content recently.
Nice job, Dennis. Good stuff. By the way, we closed out the poll. You guys can check out the results. They are there. And I don't think anybody's surprised here. The new Verizon Unlimited plans, the Welcome Unlimited, 73% say it's a no-go. 26% say it's a winner. I agree. It is a no-go. I think we'll keep it at that. Moose, anything for the go to the order, sir?
Oh, yeah. I got one more for you. There it is.
By the way, Moose,
Yeah.
the AT&T site is done. The crew is gone. We got coverage coming up.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you to tweet out that the C-band is on later tonight, or who knows.
Can you give us an early preview of like what the speeds are?
I haven't tested it yet.
Yeah.
It's not on yet. The Verizon site, they just finished today too, so I'm going to be testing that ASAP. T-Mobile, I'm going to have some coverage for you guys starting tomorrow. I'm going to do a full eval across the entire SMT HQ. Lower level, main level, upper level, outdoor, front, back, the whole shebang.
Bro, Sneed, you gotta get one of our FaceTime convos in so you can see how bad it is. So they can see how bad it is. or FaceTime. No, seriously.
I hope they, uh, you know, it sucks not it sucks for such a fast network to have these limitations, and that way they could never really be my primary.
I mean, it sucks because I know for a fact that the way T-Mobile does their QCIE priority, FaceTime is actually ranked just below typical VoIP calls, or as high of a priority as VoIP calls, like regular calling.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it definitely ain't that, bro.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
But
guys.
all
Like,
right,
share, subscribe for more, and turn on the bell notifications to never miss an upload. Links in the description for my email, my Twitter, and my Patreon page if you want to support us. You guys are the best. Thanks for all that you do. We out this piece.